appreciate this. You're going to put a human face on this for our listeners, and I just think that's so important. We've been hearing from your friends here at Safe House through Paula Tutman's reporting. She's an old colleague of mine, and so I
Hmm.
just um, I certainly I don't want to put you at risk. Do you want me to use your real name? Do you want me to say you're in Kyiv? What can I do to make sure that you're safe?
Yeah, I'm really brave and proud to be myself, so you can talk about me. I'm not, you can do this.
Okay, good. I wouldn't want to be party to putting you at risk in any way. And I already was admiring you, and now my admiration has gone up hugely. If you're ready to chat, I am.
Sure.
All right, I just have to do a quick introduction here. We never, with any story, we fail to put a human face on what is happening, to be too remote, to be too abstract. And we want to introduce you to someone who is in Kiev at this moment, a Ukrainian who studied at Wayne State University over the past year and went home to what is now, in many ways, a crisis and a disaster. Uh, Nataliia Gusak joins us this afternoon on the Guy Gordon Show. Natalia, we so appreciate you joining us in a perilous time.
Thank you.
Help us understand what the last 16 hours have been like for you and your family.
Uh, I have never experienced that I had experienced this last 16 hours. So it is like, I wasn't, I didn't never imagine that it could be possible in in this century. And for the last 16 hours, my son is hospitalized because of his COVID. And I was at home and I wasn't able to sleep because, we were waiting for the decision and we were waiting for this invasion. And I was not able to fall asleep until 4 a.m. And then at 4:30, I heard the first explosion near Kiev. And there were like, three of them. And in 10 minutes, the fourth one. And my husband is working for the government, so he was not at home. And I was really in panic what to do, what will be my next steps, because my son in the hospital in the other bank of the river, Dnipro. So we were divided with these old bridges. And the first thing I did, I just arrived here in the hospital. Now I am here with him in the hospital, and we were staying together just to support each other. And for the last 2 hours, we were in a basement because we were waiting for the next bombing of Kiev. But hopefully now we are coming back.
Have you managed to maintain communications? We know there were cyber attacks against you. Were they civilian in nature, or were they against the government where your husband works? Tell me what that's been like.
This cyber attacks was mostly for the government resources, and we had connection. For now, we had, and it's a little bit unstable, but I can chat and I can text to my relatives. We are calling to get to each other. Yeah, so that sounds they are flying over over the city. So I'm just trying to hear is there any signal for to go to
Understood.
the safe place.
I've talked to local Ukrainians here in Detroit that felt that this was a con job, that he was just trying to extort concessions from the West, that he wasn't going to invade. And I even heard that from some interviews in Kiev from your countrymen. Was this a surprise for many? Because we know there was no mass exodus in advance of this. What's changed in the past 16 hours in terms of the national mood and
Uh,
your perspective?
you know, we didn't want to believe that it's possible. We were expecting. but we were waiting for the last, we were not expecting that it could even happen. And we were waiting, but we believed that they will change their mind. I mean, Russia, and nothing happened. And now what I can see from people around, when I was driving to the hospital, there are, almost all citizens, they're trying to go to the Western Ukraine or to go abroad with their families just to be safe. And what I saw, because again, I'm in a hospital and I was buying some drugs. There is a huge lines near the drugstores, near
Mm-hmm.
the grocery shops, and people are trying to get everything they will need for the first time. And I cannot say there is a massive panic, but people are really worried about their safety, and they are trying to go to some more safety places. And we have like this great channel for information,
Mm-hmm.
and some our veterans, they check this websites, and they put information that it's like a fake, and this is not relevant to provide not relevant information. And we always communicate with each other. Hopefully we still can do this.
Your friends here in this country are concerned because we've heard that the Russians have hit lists, that they're going to target people that were pro-democracy and that they would be perceived as maybe dissidents in the making. And they say you're that kind of a person, that you're very active, you're very strong, and you're very brave. How concerned are you about that when you hear these reports that the Russians are maybe targeting people like you?
Honestly, I'm really anxious about this, but I can do something what I'm really doing.
Okay, you're
Sorry, can you hear me?
now, we can now. Your signal froze. So if you will, begin
Oh,
your answer again. Oh my goodness.
can you
It's
hear me right now?
we can. It got
Oh,
it's breaking up a little bit. Your signal's degraded. Um,
something
but
with
you were saying,
connection.
I think we have you now. So go ahead with your answer. Whoops. You said you were very anxious.
I can't hear you.
Oh dear. Um, can you hear me now?
Excuse me.
Have you got should I'm going to cancel my camera so that this isn't taking up as much. Oops. Is she going to try to rejoin?
Yeah, she left the session.
Okay, I'm going to cancel my camera just in case that's taking up bandwidth going to her. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
She's back.
Okay.
Maybe some troubles with connection. It's
No.
really unstable.
There you go. And I'm going to shut down my camera so that there's not as much data going down the line. So you were saying, just for those that are concerned about you and the fact that you're politically active, your husband's in the government, they have these lists. How vulnerable are you, and how vulnerable do you feel?
I think my family is
It
really
happened.
vulnerable, and I will try to go.
It happened again. It's almost as if someone's listening.
Are you here now?
I am. I had you, but my goodness.
Wow.
The timing is creepy.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Sorry again.
There we go. Let's try again.
Okay.
Just go ahead and
Yeah.
answer the question before we lose you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm feeling that my family is really vulnerable, and I will try and to go to the Western Ukraine, to my extended family, to my parents as soon as I can leave the hospital with my son. So I will do this when I can do.
What is your level of confidence in your military right now? They're having a very hard time of it. I think the forces we're looking at are 3 times larger than the Ukrainian army. Where do you think we'll be in a few days?
They are really brave, and they're really like, patriots of Ukraine, and they will do everything they can. And I have been working with veterans for the last years, and I know how brave and how great they are. But it's not enough. There are not so many people in our armed forces, but they are some of them who participated in this ongoing war since 2014. They are really well trained. So I believe them.
Do you feel alone? Obviously, this is going to be Ukraine's war to fight.
I do. I do. I think that sometimes when I was reading through all this, uh, all the statements from different governments from different countries, I'm just feeling that, some countries just only talking and leave us alone to struggle with all these issues related to Russia Federation.
And what do you most want Americans to know?
I just want to say, as I was talking, I've been talking about this for the last year when I was in the United States, that we have ongoing war since 2014,
Mm-hmm.
and no appropriate reaction means that they can do everything. They were trying the first step, it was successful. Then the next step, it's again can be successful, but the European countries could be the next one. It's again, like a challenge for our democracy and for all these international agreements. It doesn't work. It seems like it doesn't work.
Okay. You're being very brave in the face of all this. I admire your bravery, Natalia. Um, is There was a sense of defiance on the part of the Ukrainian people. We have seen them weapons training. We have seen women, young teens, weapons training. But in the face of real violence, is the resolve still there to defend your country?
Oh yeah, there are so many brave people staying here. Yeah, they are. They will. Those who are really afraid about their children and families, they were trying to move to the Western Ukraine and to Poland, but they will come back.
All right.
I truly believe they will do.
All right. So, what are your plans? When can your son get out of the hospital, and when can you get to a place of safety?
Honestly, I'm just thinking step by step, and the first step for me is just to get my son from this hospital, and hopefully he will be better, and then the next step, go to my parents to make sure they are safe, and then who knows, maybe I will try to find safety for some time somewhere else.
All right. Well, you are in our thoughts and our prayers, and we wish for peace for Ukraine. We wish for independence, certainly, and we appreciate you sharing your time and at some peril doing that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.